Code model is another important concept which is used sometimes quite frequently in pragmatics. Code model comes to us from communication studies, and it is used as a concept to understand communication in terms of the transmission of meaning. Meaning are encoded in a certain way, which are obviously decoded by a listener, and then the communication is successful. So we see language as a means to code meaning according to this code model. In this way, communication involves the transmission of a meaning by encoding it in language or some other codes. So in this process, code model identifies a process in which the transmitter encodes the message or meaning, and the receiver decodes that message or meaning. According to this model, a coding and decoding process will lead to the successful communication or transmission of meaning. If the code is shared by the transmitter and the receiver, then the communication would yield the desired results. Otherwise, it may not yield the result we usually look for. And it is also important that that the communication is not interrupted by any noise or any other kind of interruption. So in order to be in order to produce a successful communication, we do have to have a successful sharing of codes or the meaning, as well as we do need to avoid our communication from any possible interruptions. The term message signal transmission and receiver comes to us from information theory, and some of the terminology also come to us from some mathematical theories which have been recently included into pragmatics by certain modifications also. So we can see overall, if we have a look at this model, this seems through a very commonsensical model which comes through us, and we use this model in our daily communication. In a code, the relationship between the code and the message which is being sent, or the thing it identifies in the real language, is arbitrary. And if we do accept this very concept, we will come to the conclusion that entire natural language, human language, is a code actually, because the relationship between our words and the things or entity they refer to in the real world is entirely arbitrary. There is no essential connection between the sounds we say, words we say, and the meaning they generate in the real world. It's just how we have developed them arbitrarily. So in this sense, this information theory, this code model theory, is based on the arbitrary relation between linguistic symbols or codes and their representation in the real world. For example, when a speaker says a tree, so what comes to our mind? Our mind automatically generates various parts of a tree. For example, stem, branches, leaves, and many other parts of a tree. So we get a picture of tree in our mind. So we have encoded a certain thing in our mind with the word tree. So therefore, whenever somebody talks or says tree, or that entire picture or the parts of that picture comes to our mind automatically. Encoding can also work at sentence level. It is not reduced to individual words only. For example, a certain message, a certain sentence might generate various messages in various situations, and this could be somehow an ambiguous situation in certain contexts. If we just try to look at one of the examples, we would be able to understand this thing properly. If I say a woman without her man is nothing, this statement might generate at least two different meanings in different contexts, or in different situations in which it is uttered differently by different speakers. For example, this might mean that a woman, without her, man is nothing. I mean, a man is nothing without her woman, or women in general. Without them, man is nothing. Simply speaking, pragmatically speaking, this implies that women play an important role in the success of a man. And there could be another possible interpretation of the same sentence, and that means that woman is nothing without her man. So the man which accompanies a woman, usually it is said in terms of a life partner relationship sense. So a woman is considered to be nothing in certain contexts without her man. So this statement can generate different meanings in different sentences. In the terms of code model, we can say that this model can operate at a sentence level, and a certain sentence can be coded differently in different situations.